Good morning, friends. We are early in the AM on a Saturday morning. I've got a day off from Raw Mail today, and I'm not going to be in the workshop all day. I have bought a 4x12 cab. I've got to go and pick up from Hull today, so we're going to be setting off at about 9 AM. But I've got a small project in, new client, lovely guitar, a Mexican Fender Telecaster, and this has come in, and somehow this has been knocked or fallen, because on the 8th fret we have an indentation, a string indentation, which is quite deep, and it's only on that one fret, and look, it sticks right in the slot, so it's fallen on there, taking a good knock. There's an indentation in the fret. Now, if I were to level that fret, we'd be taking about 2.2 of a millimetre off it, and we'd have to level the whole lot. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to replace that fret. Now I've measured the fret, and it's about 2.2 millimetres wide. It should be, I'm sure it should be 2.3. I do have some 2.3 Syntons 25% nickel silver fret wire here, blah 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 blah, which I'm going to replace it with. I'm just going to replace that one fret. The guy said it doesn't need a setup or anything else. Nah, everyone that said that to me in the past has been proven wrong. The guitar has needed a setup, but I says, okay, if that's fine, if that's what it is, that's fine. I won't give it a setup. I'll just replace that one fret. I'm going to charge him. I'm going to charge him around about £40. I'm going to charge him about an hour. My rate per hour is 40 quid now, because I'm worth it. But I may not charge him that. I may not charge him at all. I'm probably going to charge him about 20 quid, just a token amount, because he's going to be gigging, and he's never gigged before. And he bought his guitar from his dad. His dad bought it. He got it for a great price, 200 quid. His dad bought it for 400 and sold it to his son for 200 a bit later on. So that's fantastic. And I might just do him a favour, because he's a really nice guy. And the fact that he stood outside knocking on my door for 10 minutes because I had a guitar plugged in, and I was really loud, and I was practising, well, just playing some stuff. And I never really knock on the door, and he stayed. So I'm thinking, you know, we'll see. So, just whipping the strings off. He's going to have a new set of strings, because these are double wrapped. Why do people double wrap strings around a guitar? I don't know, I've got no idea. So we'll find out what gauge these are, we'll stick a new set on. I'm going to look at the setup for him. I've already told him, I said I can tell by looking at those saddles that your radius is not right on the bridge, or the saddles are not properly radiused. Now then, yeah, this has been, why do people double wrap strings? Just getting enough wrapped around there you go. So there's the strings, we're going to boot those. Let's get some cutters on there. Get rid of the strings. Now there is some wear on these frets. Maybe it would benefit from a small fret dress. But again, it's about getting the guitar playable. There's the strings, get rid of those. So let me bring the guitar up to the camera. This is the fret in question, right there. And look. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that fret. I'm not going to heat it, I'm just going to remove it. I'm going to go straight in. Let me stick this down here, because we're just going to go live with this. Let's see where we are. How's that for you guys? How's that? So let's see if my fret pullers are in this drawer. It doesn't appear that they are. So I've got to go and find them. They may well be in the drawer below. They should be, there they are. Boing. I'm not going to hit it, I'm going to gently prise this fret out. Should by rights be heating this, but we should just be able to get underneath here. Okay. It's very stubborn. There you go. Very gently. Take this one out. We have fret out. I'm going to get my calipers. I've not bought them upstairs. I think they're downstairs. I used them yesterday. But that, yeah, it's, well, I've come bottled that, taking it out anyway, but that fret is knackered. I'm going to put a new one in. So it's the 8th fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Make sure I've taken the right one out. Like I said, I do have some 2.3 mil here. You're not going to tell the difference between that and 2.2. So I do need to radius that. Now bear with me guys, I'm just going to nip downstairs and grab my electronic caliper. I'll be back shortly. I'm back. Digital caliper. I had it downstairs because I took it downstairs yesterday to measure it while I was here. So let's see what we are saying. It's saying 2.13, 2.14, 2.23, 2.23 on there. Can you see it? Let's have a look at the wire I've got. Oh, it's 2.34, so it's quite a bit wider. No, it's not. It's exactly the same. 2.23. So it's the same fret wire, which is fantastic. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to re-radius this. Right, let me just, here you go, fret bending gubbins here. I don't know what radius this is set for. I'll tell you straight away that's too much. So I'm just going to alter this, I'm going to play it by ear. I'm just going to slightly bend this wire, like so. And there you go, and we're just gonna, and that's not enough, so what I'm going to do is just alter. That should be about right. And let's see where we are with this. I'm just going to do it, all this is being done quickly for the camera. And bend it, go both sides in, and go both sides in. And let's just check that the radius, there you go, I'm much slightly over radius. So let's snip this in half. I do have proper cutters. Now these are a proper cutter. So we can just go, snip the end off because that doesn't bend as much. We'll measure the fret. And we're not going to get any more than 2 out of this piece. So that's done. So we have some fret wire here. And there you go, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick that in there. Now my clamping tool, I do have a handheld fret press. Hopefully it has a core already in it for 9.5 radius. Bear with me guys, I've not prepared anything, this is all live. I don't know what coil is in there, but we're going to use this coil to press in. Got no idea what size coil is in there, but let's use it anyway. Okay. I will check the coil size once I press this in. It may just hammer in fine. And let's just press it in there. And that looks pretty good. Let's see where we are. That seems to be pressed in pretty nice. I'm just getting a little bit deeper now. If I can grab my tools, here we go. So we'll check to see what size coil is in there. I imagine this is a 9.5 radius. I do have my coils in here with the correct Allen key. And we can see what size we've got in there. That's a 12. We're going to stick a 9.5 in there. So let's empty these out. There will be a 9.5 for a 10. A 10 will suffice. 9.5 is right there. So let's stick in the 9.5. Will I need any glue on there? I may drop some super glue in there. There you go. So that's the fret. We're just going to hold it there. Beautiful. Bear with me, guys. Just going to move the camera slightly. Just check the radius while we're here. It's a 7.25. There's a 9.5. And we are most definitely a 9.5 radius. So that fret is in. Just drop a bead of super glue in there and it should wick straight into the slot. Wish it has done. There you go. So I've got a new fret in there. I'm going to clamp it 5-10 minutes and let it just sit there. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to level this fret. So there you go. I'm going to leave that 5-10 minutes. I'm going to come back, we're going to snip the ends off and what have you, get it all levelled, and that one will be done. There is quite a bit of wear on these frets. This would benefit from a fret dress, but I'm not touching it. It will play fine as it is. So we're going to leave that as it is for now. We're going to let that settle, we're going to come and snip the ends off and we'll get it dressed. Okay, see where we are. That seems pretty good. Now this is going to be quite a lot higher than the other fret, so I've got quite a lot of file work to do. But let's take my good cutters if I can find them. Now they are not in this drawer. Oh, here we go, I've got Stumac ones. Let's go with these. Snippety snip, snippety snip. That fret is in there. Now, I do know this fret is going to be considerably higher than the ones that are already in there. Fret 8, massively higher. I mean, by a stupid amount. That is going to take quite a lot of filing. So let's get something really, really coarse, like this one. Don't copy me, guys, I should be able to have this taped up, but I'm steady enough with a file that I can not have tape on there, but we're going to drastically remove height, like so, and just keep checking back. Stupidly high. I am going to tape this up. Not because I don't trust my technique, just because it's the right thing to do. Just in case we slip. And this is going to just protect that fingerboard in case I slip with a file. And I'm going to go with a couple of layers of tape on here, because it's a coarse file. If I do slip, it's going to cause some damage. And I have various files at my disposal, and I'm spot leveling this, so it's going to be not so much guesswork, but I'm going to have to be very, very careful. So let me show you the files I have at my disposal. And that is a really coarse file, and that's going to remove a lot of material. And then I have a diamond file, and then I have a less coarse file. Let's see what we have in here. And I have my super fine file. So we'll see, keep checking, see where we are. Stupidly high. What I can do is take over these frets and go with the diamond file. Now that's hard to remove any material at all, that's more for smoothing off. Keep checking. I mean, that's high to the point of, it's like, I don't know, I'm not even going to put measurements on it. So as you can see, I'm going to have to invest some time in this. It's not a 2-minute job. It's not making any sense, but it shows how low these frets are that are already on there. One thing I didn't do is check the straightness of the neck, which I also done, but normally a neck is dead straight when you have removed or removed the strings, should I say. So we're going to have a quick look, just use that as a marker and give me an idea to how straight it is. So there is quite a little bit of relief, quite a bit of relief in there. Now this being a Mexican is going to have an odd Allen wrench size for the truss rod, so bear with me again guys. I think we maybe, we'll soon find out. Let's try 3/16, which is bang on. So let's turn this back. There's quite a lot of tension on this truss rod. There you go, that's the tension off of the truss rod. And this is not going to be an exact reading, but it will give me a close reading. Right, that is still got a lot of relief in there. So let's now, I'm going to go the opposite way. I was going the wrong way there, I just loosened it off. So let's go, let's tighten up this truss rod. Okay, still got relief in there. That seems to have done the trick. I never tell you it's going to be a false reading, but that is just about straight. That's pretty good. Still some relief in this end. Give it another small turn, but only a small one this time, so I'm going to go from there to there. That feels like just about as much as I want to give it, and that is beautiful. We're good there. So now, again, if we check the height of that fret, it should be a little bit lower. Stick that there. Still very high. Wow. Excellent. And let the file find the radius. It will do. We've got to be getting close. Yes, we're getting closer. So I'm going to go with something less coarse. I'm going to go with my Valorbe Swiss made number. I think is this a number 2 file? It's a number 2 file. But this is so smooth. And this is for removing the scratches and smoothing off. And already all those coarse scratches are gone. Now this cuts only on the forward stroke, but that fret's beautifully smooth now. In the middle we're more or less there. The edges we've got quite a bit more to, but we're very, very close in the centre and on that far side, so I've been giving it more in the middle than I have the edges. Slightly angling the file now just to start building up that crown, and that's why we have the tape on there. And just keep checking your work, still high, the middle is fine, the middle is beautiful. Both sides were good. So the middle's fine, we've got there. It's just these edges, so again we're going to go more coarse. Let's check, keep checking your work. Still high on the edges. So the far side we're close. And now it's just about. We're getting very close to where we need to be now. This is spot leveling, we're just doing one fret. Rather than do the whole lot and give ourselves a lot more work. A little bit high on this one now, so we're going to take a little bit off that one next to it. Not going to drastically alter anything. So we're fine on the far side, fine in the middle, just this near side. And we are level just about all the way across now. Now we've severely flattened this fret, so we need to recrown. Let's just check where we are. A little bit of rock, seem good all the way across now. That's really good. A little bit high, so I'm taking it a little bit low in the middle, but by altering this one slightly, we're going to be okay. If I have to remove it and do it again, I'm showing it, there you go, that's perfect. And just check one back there, and that's fine, everything's now level consistently. A little high spot there. Let the file find the radius. It will do. And that's what I'm calling good. I'm calling that good. So let me show you the difference now. Look at this, it's completely flat. This is the new fret. We have to recrown it. And straight away, I'm going to get my Z file. You all know what this is, you've all seen it before. And this is going to rebuild that crown. It's got two cuts at different angles. When you flip it 180 degrees, it's got the opposite. This does not touch the top of the fret, but it will build up that crown, and it works quite quickly because it's a diamond file. And so we're going to hit it with this. It's going to take a few passes. I'm going to flip it 180 and make the opposite cuts. What this is doing is it's taking that flat fret and it's rebuilding that crown. And I'm going to eyeball it, and that is getting there. We need a few more passes yet though. To get us to where we need to be. And like I say, this is not touching the top of the fret. So the height, we're going to maintain that height, which is consistent with the other frets either side. Looking really nice. We're really getting there. Someone told me that that is not worth £40 of your hard earned. Plus accessories, so it's going to be 45 quid when all said and done. I was going to be happy with that. He bought the guitar for 200 quid. Now there's some fretwear down here, so somewhere down the line is going to want that looking at. But for today, we're just going to get the guitar playable. And that Z file has done its thing. So I'm going to clean the file. Now we're going to hit it with a crowding file. So the Z file has done its thing. Let's put it back in its case. Because these are quite narrow frets or vintage, we're going to go with a narrow crowding file. Again, another new one from Sumac. And this again is a diamond file. It is quite narrow, but it has the correct profile for that crown. Now, narrow one may be a bit too narrow, so it says narrow medium. We're just going to go on the edges. This is at an angle. We're doing the far side, and I'm going to do the near side at the slight angle. Just remove any inconsistencies. Then I'm going to go with a slightly wider one. Now I do have various files in this drawer. that narrow, it's just a little bit too narrow for my liking, so I'm going to go with something a little bit more, a little bit wider. And we have this Stumac file, and this is more for larger frets. And it just gives me a slightly wider angle. Again, it's a crowding file, just to round over those edges. So the cross section of this now is, as you look at it from is that shape, where it's flat on the top is now that shape going in that direction. So that fret is now crowned like all of the others around it. Just going to hit it a little more. Nice and gentle with this. And we now have a crowned fret, beautifully crowned, same shape as all the other ones. And what we're going to do next is we need to now bevel these edges. So I'm going to take a picture or two for the client, just to let him know he's got a new fret in there. Bear with that, go grab my phone. But yeah, you won't know once this is in properly. You're not going to know it's been changed. Well, you will do because I've shown you. But okay. New client, by the way. I did put the old fret somewhere. I have no idea where. Let's see if I can find it. It's got to be knocking about somewhere close, probably under the guitar. And it is not. Did I bin it already? It's the kind of thing I do. So there's no evidence. That's the new wire. Okay, we cannot find it. And again, that is okay. Just taking some snaps. So what we are going to do now is we are going to file the bevel. Again, tape, then I'm going to put some more tape on that edge. Because I'm going to be working on this now. Again, this is going to take something special. Because what I'm going to do is I want to match this angle here. So I'm going to take the coarse file, and my fingers underneath. Less sinister file. I'm going to work that bevel in. And now you see that I put the tape there. And that's why we add the tape. We're going to put on more tape. Just gone through that tape ever so slightly, and that's why it's there. That's fantastic. We're going to go again. In fact, we can use the same tape again. And we've got 3 layers, so if we go through it, we're not going to hit the wood. side done. I'm going to hit the other side now. Now what I'm going to do is, once this is done with the tape on, I'm going to remove the tape and we are going to do it by hand, just so you don't feel the metal on the side. And if it's cut in, it needs to be cut, but what we can do is we take the flat side of the file, and there you go. Once it stops cutting, you know where we need to be. And now you don't feel the edge of that fret on that side. Beautifully, beautifully done. We're going to flip the guitar. And work the other side exactly the same. We're going to take the tape and we're going to work the far side. Same again. I'm going to just use this file. And I can see in the light I'm using. Remove the tape. I do have a flat side to this file. This is the flat side. And that is done. And once we've done that part, one more file. This is a beautiful little thing. Again, Stumac, a Stumac file, and this is a beveled edge file. Now it's got a safe edge at the bottom, safe edge at the top, and what we're going to do with this is just going to round over that bevel with this, just a few strokes. And that's beautiful. And I'm going to do the same again on the opposite side, and I did lose that original fret. I don't know where it's gone. Not that we're bothered. And again, we're just going to roll over this bevel, just remove any sharp edges. And that fret now feels like the rest of them. I'm going to take a safe edge again, and I'm just going to slightly thin the far side. It does look a little bit wider, but it will do because it's more dull. It's not polished up. Once it's polished up, it's going to look the same. And we're going to use this side as well. And we're just slightly, ever so slightly thinning that fret because it is a nudge wider. I can tell by looking at it. But that fret is done. We're going to need to clean up the edge. There's a little bit of dirt. I'm tidying this there. I'm going to take some white spirit. Put a dab on this piece of cloth. I'm going to put the lid on. I've knocked the stuff over before. Don't be doing that. It gets everywhere and into everything. And we are going to go each side with some white spirit, and there you go. That fret has been replaced. We're going to get it all polished up in a minute. But for all intents and purposes, that is done. I don't know how long it took. I didn't time anything. Time we're at 20 past 8. Did I start half past 7 or something? 7:20? So it's taken me about an hour. So 40 quid seems about right for that. Going to need to get that polished up. I'm going to give it a much deeper polish than we normally would. I'm going to get a few grits of sandpaper on there, but just to show you what it's going to be like, just by using some steel wool, which I have here, super fine steel wool, the finest grade you can get. Got a nice piece of that right there. We're going to put a fret guard on there, or a fingerboard guard as it should be called, and we're going to take some steel wool, like so. And we're going to polish it up. And there you go. That's a fret replace. Still a bit of work to do on this edge. It's a little bit hanging over, but it doesn't feel bad at all. That's the one I've replaced. Would you know, once strings are on there, that had been replaced? I'll tell you now, absolutely not. You wouldn't. So let me take another picture for the client. He's going to be happy. He's not picking it up today. I might get this finished a little bit later on. But that is it. That is replaced. I get a new set of strings on there. Get it all set up. And you can have it back. I do need to polish this though, so I'm going to get some different grits of paper on there, sandpaper. I'll go through 600 through 2000. So 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500 and 2000 grits of paper. That will come up looking like, exactly like all of the others. So that is just about it. I'll show the final results later. I've given this new fret a go over with all the grits here, which I can now bin because they were part used anyway. So that's good. Just going to go over with some super fine steel wool here. In fact, I don't need to use that because I've got it taped up. This is just to smooth it off and bring it to a nice shine. It does look an nth wider than the other frets, and that's because it is. It's about 0.2 of a millimetre. Well, not 0.2, 0.02 is it? Well, it's a little bit wider than the other frets. There's not a great deal I could do about it. I did file it, the edges a little bit. But you're not going to tell once it's on. It's just going to play exactly the same as all the others. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go across these frets, just with a little bit of steel wool. Just over the tops like so. Just to get any grime off there. Don't forget, I'm not being paid for a setup or anything. I'm just being paid to replace this fret. I will, however, give the guitar a setup. I'm going to charge him. I wasn't going to charge him at first, but I'm going to charge him a 45 quid, which is £40 less than a setup. Well, it's £10 less than a setup. I'm going to charge for a set of strings because he's going to need a set of strings on here. I'm just going to go over all these frets. Now, there's quite a lot of wear. There's some divots in all these frets. I'm not going to check the level. Again, not being paid for it. I'll get this guitar playing fine anyway. But there are divots, especially on the first 7, 8, 9 frets. They are quite deep. This guitar is going to need, at the very least, a full fret dress pretty soon. Maybe even a refret. It looks like it's already been refretted because there are scratch lines down each fret. I'll show you in a minute. I'll turn it up to the camera. Ross, just get out. The dog's mooching about. I don't know what's up with him. Right, anyway, so there are the frets as they are. Let me zoom out. The one I've replaced is that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. That one. It still looks a little bit wider than the rest of them, but there's nothing in it. That's the one I've replaced where my finger is. It doesn't look great, but if you'll have a look at some of the edges of these. They've got black lines on the outside of the frets. It looks like wider frets were installed at one time. Has this been refretted? I don't know, but anyway, that fret has been replaced. We're just going to check the height again. All being well, should be level. It is level, and that's fantastic. And it's level either side. Bit of a rock there. I'm just going to tap that one down. I don't know what the dog's mooching about. What are you mooching about for, Mr. Ross? He's mooching. I don't know, so he wants to go back out. Second walk. See if that's done anything. It's a little bit high, so I'm just going to go over the top of that with a File. Scooch over the top with my number 2 file. Just see where we are, and that's better. And we're going to be pretty good there. Quite happy with that. And that's it. That's that fret done. So we're going to put some strings on. I'm going to set the intonation and the radius at the bridge end, because I tell you, I absolutely guarantee that is not right. I know it's not. So it's going to have. I'm going to end up setting it up, aren't I? But not charging full price for it. I'm going to charge him 40 quid plus a fiver for the strings. And that is it. So give me a while to get everything all swapped over. This is the only one I'm working on today. We'll bake some bread in a minute, because we've got no bread in the house, and we don't buy bread anymore. I make bread from scratch, completely from scratch. Someone says to me, "You got a bread maker?" No. Why do I need a bread maker? What do I need a bread maker for? Make it myself. So there we go, guys. So we'll get some strings on, get this set up, it'll be good to go. The guy wants 10s on there. Just before I put the strings on, I just want to show you the indentations and the wear on these frets here, all the way down here. And I'm hoping you can see that. There's quite a bit of wear on these frets. That's going to need attention. Not immediately. I mean, if it was me, I'd be having it done now, but I ain't got time to do it now. I've pushed this one in over other clients who've been in the queue for a while. But these frets right up to like 7, well, I said right up to 6. There you go. I do apologise for the noise outside. There's a fucking buffoon across the road there. It's about 50 something. He's got a massive remote control car, and there's a massive park right near us, less than 200 yards away, but he insists on having it outside on the street. Should let my dog out and rip it to pieces. But yeah, it's annoying. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to get some strings on here, get it set up. I'll bring you back in shortly. So for it, friends, I've stuck a set of Diodario 10s on there. I only stock Diodarios, 9s and 10s, because you know most people want 9s or 10s, and that's it. And Diodarios, I buy them directly from Stumac, so they're a little bit cheaper than they are over here. I end up paying, well, I buy them in bulk, so I end up paying about 3.5 quid a set. I charge 5 quid for them. Make a little bit of money on them. If you're going to get them from a shop, we're going to charge you 7-8 quid. So get them off me for 5, you're saving money still. But I'll make a little bit. So what have I done? Put strings on, not stretched them in yet. I've set the intonation. I've set the radius on the saddles, 9.5 inch radius. Got a nice curve on there. Height above the 12th fret. 1.7 on this side. 1.5 on the treble side. That's above the 12th fret. Like I say, I've set the radius here, I've set the intonation. I've not stretched the strings in, I'm not cutting the nut. Don't forget, he's not paid for a setup. I've just done this setup for nothing. So, you know, so as much as my freebies, as far as the freebies go, I'm just going to stretch these strings in. Plugged into my Korg rack tuner over there. I'll get close to tuning, I'll do the final tuning in playing position. So a couple of stretches on the strings. I've done other things like tighten up the buttons on the tuners. Also tighten up these nuts on the holding the tuning posts in. And I should need a 10mm. And they don't need tightening, they are all tight, which is great. That's good, they are tight. Excellent, so I didn't need touching. So just stretching these strings in. I'll stretch them in, get the guitar in tune, and I'll just check the relief. Relief looks bang on for my eye. I think this has been refretted because there's lines on each side of the frets wider than the fret, so it must have had wider fret wire on, I'm thinking. Could be wrong, but why would anybody cut the fingerboard each side? No idea. It's the only guitar I'm working on today. I should have been finishing off a Squire Classic Vibe, so fret level, but too busy today. I just sorted the internet connection out. From paying £29 a month, Virgin were charging us 58. I've not realised our contract ran out 2 months ago. And we just upped the price. I've managed to get them back down to 33 quid a month for 12 months. We don't do a 12-month contract. I says, well, I'm moving to Canada in 12 months, so if you can't give me a 12-month contract, I'll go somewhere else. They were then able to give me a 12-month contract. After I spoke to the manager just went and okayed everything. I thought, well, that's fair enough. So here we go. Never stretch these ones too much, the B and the E. It's not that many E's over the years. Don't need as much stretch because they don't have a coil wrapped around them. Just a single coil string, so they don't stretch as much. And the E string, oh, I don't want to stretch that to top, to be honest with you. Now I'm going to check the relief in the neck. Without measuring that, that's probably a little bit more than I would like, but you know what, I've not been paid to do a setup. I'm not going to lower it and leave it as is, because the action above the 12th fret is absolutely fine. So let's see if anywhere near 0.25 at the 5th and 7th frets. So let's go 7. Get a little bit of resistance there. That's fine. That's fine, we'll get away with that. So all I've got to do now is tune it in, and this thing will be ready to go back. Very good, I'm going to plug it in a minute, just check for there's no scratching anyway, but that for all intents and purposes is done. He's had a free setup, pick-up heights look fine, probably a little bit high on the treble side of the neck pickup, just going to drop that a little. And just bring that up there, down a little bit here. That was pretty good, so pretty good. there you go, that is all done. Just move the camera and we're back in a second. And here we are, all done with this one. It came in needing a fret replacing because it had a big ding in a fret number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Didn't have exactly the right size fret wide, but I've made a good job of it. And that is in there now, you wouldn't tell looking at it. Also, it needed a setup. So what I've done is I've set the radius on the saddles, I've set the intonation, I've set the right amount of action at the 12th fret, not touched the nut or anything. I've tightened all the screws in the adjusters on the tuners there, and that is it. It's all done and ready to go back. I'm charging him 45 quid. I was charging him 40 quid for changing the fret anyway. And I've charged a fiver for a set of Dear strings, brand new strings. So that is it. It's all good to go. It is finished, and I'm going to move on to the next project. But just before I do go, I'm going to remind you of my website. Best place to get any information on me is Facebook. Facebook.com/NG17. No one has asked me what the NG17 is. Well, 17 is one of my favourite numbers. It means the glory of the Lord, or it means the Lord's victory, Jesus' victory on the cross. Also NG Nottingham, I'm from Nottingham, and I live in the postcode area of NG17, so NG17. It's all about my postcode. But that is it, facebook.com/NG17. Again, facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor, I'm your friend. If you're watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, like it, and leave a comment, because my YouTube channel is dead. I was making £100 and something a month not too long ago. I'm not even making £30 a month now, because people do not thumbs up or do not like or do not comment on my videos. And if it's not going to be supported, I'm going to bother releasing videos, am I? So please do that for me. I really appreciate that. But that is it. Until the next one. So I'm Victor. I am your friend. And until the next one, as always, God bless you. Be good to each other. And I'll see you next time.